everyone, in this video I will show you how I made those comfy joggers with elastic gloves. The only thing you need is some stretchy fabric. I took 1.3 meters of it, some elastics and a little bit of time. First I laid out my fabric and made sure that the stretchier part of the fabric is in the width of the pants and not in the length, because we need that stretch. Then I took one of my favorite pants to make a pattern out of it. You can also trace them directly to the fabric, but I made myself a pattern because I can use it for future projects. Don't forget to add about 1 centimeter of seam allowance everywhere when cutting them out. Because I will sew in an elastic, I extended the waist in the width of the elastic band. After cutting out the front and the back pieces, I took some fabric for the pockets. I cut out 4 square pieces, each 20 centimeters long and wide, and then measured down 14 centimeters and rounded the corners a little bit. I sewed the pocket pieces right sides together to the side seams of my jogger parts. But please make sure that they are placed on the same height, measuring down from the waistband. When all pocket pieces are sewed on, you can take one back piece and one front piece and sew them right sides together at the side seam, including the pockets. When the side seams are closed, you can move on and sew the inner side seams together. When all side seams are closed, you can sew the crotch seam together. Please use pins to make sure that the seams and the crotch meet each other. Now the whole thing already starts to look like pants and we can make the waistband. For this I took an elastic and adjusted it to my waist and sewed it together. But please first check if you will get the elastic over your ass, because otherwise you won't be able to put on the pants later on. Since the elastic is smaller than the jogger waist, I marked them on 4 points, like every quarter, by folding it in half and putting a pin in. I repeated this step 2 times more, as you can see, because we need the elastic to be evenly placed. Please also make sure while sewing that the elastic must always be stretched so the fabric will be distributed evenly around it. To finish the waistband, I folded it once and sew all around with a normal straight stitch. And again, please make sure that the elastic is stretched while sewing. For the cuffs, I measured out the width of the jogger leg and multiplied it by 0.8 centimeters. Because I wanted my cuffs to be 6 centimeters long, I cut out 2 rectangles 24 centimeters wide and 13 centimeters long. As you can see, I sewed my cuffs together at the upper edge and then I sewed them right sides together to the joggers. As you can see, they are not closed because anyways I will cut some triangles in to add those elastics. I measured the width and the height of the slits on my leg where I want that elastics to be. Then I drew some triangles onto the joggers and cut them out. But please don't forget about the 1 centimeter seam allowance because the edge will be folded once and sewn with a straight stitch. And now comes the tricky part. I took 1 centimeter wide elastics and placed them in the same distance on one side. I placed them every 1 centimeter, so I took an elastic and made a 1 centimeter gap and then took another elastic. My longest elastic is 7.5 centimeters, the second was 7 centimeters, the third was 6.5 centimeters, and so on. As you can see, I pinned on the elastics on the inner side of the slit. After placing them, I just sewed them on with a normal straight stitch. After all elastics are sewn on one side, the more tricky part is starting. To sew on the elastics on the other side, you need to pin and sew one elastic by one. It's not possible to sew them all together like on the other side. I folded the joggers to make sure that the elastics will be symmetrical, and then I sewed them one by one, but starting from the top. I know it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it's doable and it's worth it. Et voila, the joggers are done. I really like how they came out. They are super comfy, but you can also combine them with a blouse and some high heels or wear them only casual. I really hope that you enjoyed the video and that I could inspire you.